Hey guys, I just wanted to show you a really cool line in the Russian game. It's not really like that great, like in terms of like I don't really think you would win that many games with it, but it's just kind of cool to look at. And so this is the Russian game right here, and then you'll, instead of taking the pawn, you'll play bishop c4 and then do a gambit, right, for second. And I guess it's not a gambit, if you just take the pawn here. So that's what we'll be looking at, which, believe it or not, is Masters, they don't really play that. There's not that many games with this line, but most of the time Masters will play this the pretty much reverse Stafford gambit by playing knight c3. But we're going to look at knight takes e5. And the best response from black is this. And then you got to move the bishop, or you could counterattack the knight. But we're going to look at the best move, which is, or one of the best moves, which is bishop back to e2. And then black's gonna want to kick out this knight while developing. And then instead of defending the knight and bringing it back, we're gonna counterattack this knight. Now the engine at low depth says it's like pretty much like losing for white, which, if the game was played perfectly, it might be losing for white. But it's pretty close. But this line has a lot of interesting stuff in it, because if they take, we'll take here. So now both queens and rooks are forked. But black has this move, queen h4, and it looks like, man, you're just losing on the spot. Well, no, you can take bishop with check, and now they have doubled pawns, and they haven't won any material yet. And we can give this check on g3, or we can give this check on h5 first. I usually just look at playing g3 first, and then black's got these two moves that keep slight advantage, but the main move is queen d4, and then you have to give this check on h5, because if they don't, you're just getting destroyed, because like the only thing you have going is that you have this check, because the king won't be able to castle to safety, and you're weakening the king, and they can't play g6, which, this could be a trap that a lot of people fall for, but this has never happened like in a game or in Lichess or their master database. So if they play this, they're losing like their advantage, and white's better. White gives this check, and then if black wants to continue, they're gonna have to block. Because if they don't, we can take here, and then they have to take here, and then they've got two sets of double pawns, which is pretty bad. And you can play this move, preventing the rook getting in. And then you just keep playing, winning the pawns. But yeah, so this is not good for them at all. So they have to play one of these moves. And remember, they haven't won any material. So like if they never played queen d4 or queen f6, you're just winning the knight. So they gotta find these moves. So yeah, black can either go here or here. It results to the same position as you'll give this check. You got to give this check to get the king on d7, and then you want to go here, giving up the rook. But the point is after they take, is that you counter, attack the queen, and they've got to move it somewhere. They could take the pawn. It's still fine for them, but the trap is if they take the pawn, you can play king d2, and they can't take the rook. If they do, they're losing. And it's funny, the engine right now is showing, what is it showing? Oh yeah, it's not even showing to take, and the reason is if you take, there's just a mating attack on the king, and it's involved in bringing the knight out, so they'll have to sack the queen for the knight, and that's why you'll be winning. And this knight's trapped, you'll win that in the future too. We can show it real quick. Let's say check. King has to go up. If it goes down, it's mated. And then you bring it out, and they'll have to sack. If they don't, if they go here trying to get the queen back, you'll take here. King's got to move like here or here. This is not, this leaves the mate. So if they go here, you go here, and if they don't take, let's say they go here, now they're getting blasted because you've got this, and then you got this fork. So, yeah. Black can't do that. They gotta take the knight. Alright, so, well, they don't have to take the rook. They could go back, right? To here, and then, yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked too much at this, but the main thing I've looked at is just taking. And then you just develop. And then black wants to give some material so they can develop tempo. It's like if they develop now, you're going to take here. And black doesn't really have that. It still hasn't. It's up in exchange. I mean, you're going to win this knight, right? So, yeah. Like, at the end of the day, they're up like a rook for a knight or a bishop. A rook for a bishop. The thing is, though, is the king is in a really bad spot, and this rook is going to take forever to get out. So, it's like it's pretty dominating position for white. That's why it's pretty even. So, so yeah, like, it's pretty cool that, like, black has to play super accurately to keep an advantage, even in this position. So yeah, if they give up the pawn, then develop the knight, they're developing tempo. And if you take, you're bringing the rook in, it's not good. But you just, go back. And, black gets this really good knight in the center, and then you'll win this knight here, and you have a game where you're slightly worse. Which, I mean, you would probably lose this a lot, especially because you're down in exchange too. But, like, what's interesting is that, like, for black to prove an advantage, like, if the game was played perfectly, black would, like, it's showing only one move really keeps a full point of advantage, which is king here. So, I mean, and there's a lot of responses you can do to this. So, it's not like a completely terrible line to go down. It's not like you're going to be losing on the spot. But yeah, so let's see. So yeah, we looked at if they take the pawn. Now, they can go back here, but then you're still going to trade queens. You're going to push the queen off this square. And, they're probably going to want to trade they could go back, and it leads to similar stuff. Like, let's look at this. They go there. You're gonna move your king to d2 and then develop, and probably take this knight with the rook most of the time, I would believe. Let's see, check, yes, okay. Yeah, you're gonna want to trade here because you just keep you're preventing them from developing, and they gotta keep taking with the king. And then yeah, see, like, that was a pretty forced line, and they're gonna lose the rook, or I mean the knight in the corner, and you know they still got this rook isn't getting to the game, which is why black's not that much better. And then the king's not safe at all, really. They could play this, and then I guess, yeah, you could take the pawn, but you could probably be better just to take the knight, because the knight was going to take that knight. So yeah, it's just logical stuff. It's nothing like, there's not that much traps you're gonna find if black plays right. So yeah, they're gonna go here, which is the best move. Then you're gonna want to develop the knight. You don't want to trade because that will improve their pawn structure, and they get a good hold on the center. So just develop the knight. Your queen's defended by the bishops. You don't have to worry about that. And that's like the best option for black, is to get your queen, because like his queen can't really attack, because like look, his piece, like his bishop's blocked from the king. This knight, yeah, it can develop, but you know, then you've got this check, and there's a lot of complications in the position. So like, yeah, I mean, like, there's no good moves for black. The only good moves here, like, let's say here. Now, I've never looked at this, but yeah, so can give this check, and it's all about king safety. And the whole point about this move was that, you know, if you take this, you're getting, wait, hold on a second. Oh, okay, you would never make this move. Yeah, black just doesn't have any moves, so it's just the only good move for it, really. I'm trying to see, maybe like this would be more of a normal move. No, it hangs the queen. See, this is why I look at the engine and I don't play. But yeah, you're gonna trade. And yeah, they can sack the knight. They're gonna lose it anyway eventually, so we'll take. Black will develop. It's just really complicated. I just thought it was like, the main cool thing was that like they can't take the rook in this corner, and you're down so much material, but you're winning because the king is so badly placed. That's pretty much everything. You get if black knows what they're doing, you'll trade down pretty much to an endgame where you're down in exchange. But you still have a pretty good position, and so it's pretty cool. I hope eventually I can get a game with it, because you know there's no game that has been played with it, so maybe eventually I get a game in that. That'd be pretty cool. I might even show it. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. Bye.